والله بالله تالله أنا هاجي لو خد جنيه حرف كده من مصر.
Allah, to the Quran, to family.
Takbir.
I see men, I see fathers, I see uncles, I see brothers, I see community, and we don't see this enough.
So please, let's come together and support their team.
ربنا لا تدع لنا ذنبا في مقامنا هذا إلا غفرته.
nakan na bari vraiment la noa.
Wadi ba fa be aba fa mu unake.
Ala ga vraiment du be bi nga yabi.
Cette visite était une simple visite de courtoisie de la part de notre frère, notre fils, notre neveu, notre cousin, M. Charles Fall, sénateur de Staten Island, une île attachée à New York. Il est arrivé à la mosquée vers 19h33 et nous avons profité de la même occasion pour la rupture du jeûne. Et enfin, ça a été suivi par la prière de Maghreb qui était dirigée par notre grand imam de la mosquée, Mohamed Kamara.
والنار خامدة الأنفاس من أسف عليه والنهر ساهي العين من سدمي مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا.
La rupture du jeûne a poursuivi immédiatement après la prière du Maghreb. Les fidèles musulmans étaient là. L'équipe de M. Charles Fall, compagnon de sa délégation, les repas ont été partagés et dégustés avec beaucoup d'appétit, dans de très bonnes conditions. Il y a eu des échanges de paroles, pas mal de chahuts. Après la rupture, quand tout fut fait, chacun était vraiment satisfait. M. Didier Fall s'est adressé à la communauté Basse Cote et aux fidèles musulmans de la mosquée Masjid al-Falah.
But I just also wanted to just take this opportunity to, come back, say hello, make sure that you know who your representative is, and my brother, Assembly Member Al Taylor, who fights very hard in Albany for this community. Yes, I'm your son. Yes, I'm always going to be fighting. But I'm not successful without the support of my colleagues in Albany. And Al is doing a great job fighting. And this year in the state budget, one of the biggest things we did was to suspend the sales tax for gas. Gas was flying across the roof, and one of the things we did at the state level was suspend the sales tax, and we're now trying to encourage now the city of New York to do the same thing and the federal government to do the same thing, because when there are issues, we have to take action to fix those issues. There's a lot of money in the funding for immigrant services. There's funding available for those that may be evicted, that may need to seek assistance from the state. We have money in the budget for that. And also another big item is there's about 1.4 million people in the state of New York that were having electrical problems in terms of paying their bills, and I believe it accumulated to about $1.6 billion of debt. So we have money in the state budget that could address those issues. For those of you that drive cabs that may have issues with NYPD, this is why I want you to know who Al Taylor is, because Al Taylor can help address some of those issues as your local representative, and he also has his office not too far from here. So that's why I'm very happy to be here with him to sponsor.
Après l'adresse de M. Charles Fall, M. Amadou Diallo, membre de la délégation, a profité de la même occasion pour présenter tous les membres de la délégation.
Along with the assembly member for this district, Al Taylor. Yesterday we were at Brooklyn, Utica. Tomorrow we'll be in the Bronx. even though he's representing the Staten Island, but he's representing all of us throughout. So we should be proud of that, and he should be a role model for our children and for all of us. We are so happy to be here with us. We thank you for the food. I don't want to take time because they have another event. Mr. Fall is here with his staff. Jevon is one of the senior advisors. After that is Dahan and Mr. Usman Jallo. They all are on his staff. I'm going to give the mic to our assemblyman, Charles Fall, because he's our own son, even though Mr. Taylor is the one representing the district, but he has to come here, but he has to inform him, I'm going to my community to iftar, but I want you to be part of me because you're representing here. So he's going to introduce him to us. Whatever help we need, we should not hesitate to go to his office. Before he leaves here, we want to get his address. Whatever issue we got, we need to go there.
M. Taylor, membre de la délégation, représentant d'un des districts de New York, a poursuivi avec des propos d'assistance aux fidèles musulmans de la mosquée Masjid al-Falah et à la communauté Basse.
And sisters are dying, their lives are being shattered, and we're looking for everything but what we already have, and that's fellowship and love of each other and community that will transform anything that the enemy could ever throw at us. So I am overwhelmed and so graciously appreciating the opportunity just to speak. I grew up in this community. This is 136th Street. So I grew up on 142nd Street in Edgecombe, which is about 5 or 6 blocks away. So I know Harlem in the 70s. I was here going to school. I got in the troubles that you can find in New York City, and I ended up in the military. But I'm here because this is not my assembly district, but many of you live and work in my community. And my community starts on 142nd and it goes all the way to 218th Street. But if it didn't go anywhere near where you're at, I think I am responsible, Iman, for sharing what I know. Is each one teach one. So if I can be of service or my office can be of service, then that's what we'll do. And if you ever have an experience with my office that did not fit well, that you didn't appreciate, you let my brother know. You let his father know there's a problem that didn't get resolved. Now, when a problem is resolved, it doesn't mean you like how it ends.
Il y a eu ensuite des prises de photos entre frères musulmans et aussi avec le sénateur M. Charles Fall et son père Didier Fall. Maman, tante, fille, cousine ont participé à la prise de ces photos pour partager la joie.
إيتاء الزكاة وصوم رمضان وحج البيت من استطاع إليه سبيلا.
La rupture du jeûne. La prière de Maghreb a été dirigée par notre grand imam Mohamed Kamara, suivie de bénédictions. Louanges et hommages ont été rendus au Tout-Puissant Clément Miséricordieux. En effet, c'était une fierté et honneur pour la communauté Basse Cote, les fidèles musulmans de la mosquée Masjid al-Falah, avec beaucoup de joie et de gaieté.
ولا مريض إلا شفيته ولا كرب إلا نفسته ولا دين إلا أديته ولا ظالم أو مظلوم إلا نصرته.
Les fidèles musulmans et les membres de la communauté Basse-Côte étaient vraiment enthousiastes, surtout en ce plein et saint mois de Ramadan 2022. Et pour clôturer, notre frère musulman fidèle, compagnon de l'imam de la mosquée Al-Falah, M. Yvon Guilaoui, a procédé par un petit laïus de bienvenue chaleureux et ensuite a présenté chacun des membres du conseil des sages de la mosquée. Mashallah, ce fut un très beau et chaleureux accueil.
But the first imam of this masjid is Mr. Kamara, standing right by you. Which is already given to Mr. Bangura. We call him president of the masjid. We have the president of the Basket, Sila. Mr. Yagin Sila. Mr. Didier Fall. He is one of the elders of the community too. Alaji Saji Diallo. He's one of our imam. And after we have Makanera, who is the third imam. Mahmoud Jabi, one of the guys who's actually devoted for this mosque.
Yin wali kipan vraiment diba pindi pepan ya ba pindi nyalarengia mwadi ba fabe aba pamu naken vraiment in wali kipan ya pindi kunna keli nanna anu nyalarengi Basse Cote communauté be awa mu wen rom kuyama ala ko mon camarade Didier Fall il fanga pandema sembe ina to mama la ni
Wono wali kifai, wono wali cameraman, merci beaucoup, vraiment. On a un barato, on a fait naga parce que hala aragiri, on a wamadi rame wama fafi wama mosquée masende adorburi be ano worke bouré politicien n'a pas mané wambe surtout que dunyama wambiga kolon c'est moudan qui relation rambra inaran kolon inomana na sotoni. Alors nana atofa na décision to on rafa beto abana papa moi mon rafa sunna katimen imta numbure monara sagosa monara la nwali mais Dieu merci parce que mon Basse Cote m'a organisé réforme il a bé roni d'or le président Yagin il a organisé tout de suite il a mis tout en place imam Kamara Bangou et tout le monde était en action et naran nabari vraiment la nwali naran nabari qui ho musika salle de Brooklyn. You know, Brooklyn, Itika, la Guinée mosquée, na meni, moi faut le mener tout. Tobe naga, tina fan relating, asgama, comment dirais-je, 3rd Avenue, Fouta islamique. Vraiment, wonga duba ala Mali, ala Basse Sarafa, ala rende Sarafa Huma, ala Basse Cote, ma communauté, ala wonla, ala wonwa menara ala ba wumbe. Sali ala Mamadou, wasala.
Aso madanya.
Madame la Faniki, ma alias Guinée.
Vraiment, on va faire tout Basse Cote, mais Basse Cote, on t'a bien à Basse Cote, on dit Basse Cote caca. Donc on est vraiment content d'être là. C'est un plaisir. Alors vraiment, que Dieu nous protège et que Dieu protège le fiston et tous les enfants vraiment, les enfants, les petits enfants. Merci pour l'accueil, tonton Yagin. Vraiment, ça a été extraordinaire. On est vraiment très fiers de notre communauté. Merci.
Basse Cote this is absolutely Basse Cote. This is family. You know, my wonderful parents always say never forget where you come from. You know, so we always have to come here and make sure we pay our respect and break bread during Ramadan and for iftar. And you know, always glad to be here with my president, Mr. Sila, and of course Amadou, one of our brothers and all of our sisters. But it's all about being together during Ramadan, supporting one another, and making sure that we're keeping our communities in our du'as. That's why we're here, brother. Of course, there's no option, unless of course you're not feeling well. But I don't have an excuse.